So please welcome Alex to the stage.
Hi, everyone. It's nice to be here. That was a great introduction. That sounded pretty cool. All right, so welcome today. It's going to be a pretty interactive session. I'm going to get you on your feet and talking, because that's what facilitation techniques are. It's to help people have a conversation. So once again, my name is Alex. My thing when I wear it says Alistair because it looks cool on my business card and LinkedIn profile, but my friends call me Alex. And I'm an Agile coach, like many of you here, and facilitation is one of the key skills all Agile coaches have to have. So I'm going to teach you today a specific set of facilitation techniques called liberating structures. You're going to be liberated. And feel free to tweet me. There's my Twitter handle. I'll give you a second. Okay. All right, so who are these guys? Well, that's Henri, right? He's a French guy from Canada, right? And that's Keith. And they are the co-developers of something called liberating structures. And they actually developed it in Seattle in, I guess it was like the early 2000s, 2010s, somewhere around there. I can't remember when exactly they invented it. Anyways, these guys are high-end, like management consultant kind of guys. They were going into healthcare, government, high-tech, and they were facilitating conversations among large organizations and government agencies and stuff like that. They do liberating structures at the CDC, you know, in the movies, Patient Zero, the Center for Disease Control. They were doing that kind of stuff. And they came up with this set of facilitation techniques, and they actually have workshops in Seattle. And liberating structures are now kind of moving across the world. You can find them in Australia. You can find them in South Africa. In fact, I'm flying to South Africa next week to have a liberating structure, this week to have a liberating structures workshop in South Africa. So very interesting set of facilitation techniques. And in fact, they wrote a book on it. So this site is called Amazon. Yeah, when I moved to Australia, I was very disappointed to learn that you couldn't get anything you wanted off Amazon anymore. But you can buy books off Amazon. And this is their book, Liberating Structures, right there. It's a great book. There's a link for you. Good read. And that's the way they make their living, right? They make money off this. But there's an easier way to get this. It's called the internet. So it's Creative Commons, right? It's all freely available as long as you attribute it. Totally cool. So you can go to that website, liberatingstructures.com, and you can find everything you ever wanted to know about liberating structures. Pretty awesome. These are the 36 liberating structures. Imagine it as a menu or a recipe book of facilitation techniques. And they are all described and talked about what their purpose is, how you execute them, all that kind of stuff is all on the website and in the book. Now, I'm going to show you your first liberating structure. So this is a very interactive session. I want you to practice them and then go away tomorrow and be able to execute them immediately. So we're going to actually do them. But the problem with reading about facilitation techniques in a book or online is that you read about it and sometimes it kind of doesn't make sense, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the bar as easy as possible for you guys to get into it, right? Because I want you to be able to go to this website in the book later and kind of understand as you read these liberating structures how they're structured. Because they are structured into 5 different components. Each of these liberating structures has these 5 components, and I'll show you what they look like. But put very simply, it's how you arrange the space, who it's for, what the purpose is, and how you actually structure the liberating structure itself. So let's get into it, and I'll give you some examples, because we're going to practice them too. This is your first liberating structure. 1, 2, 4, all. Now, this web page that I'm showing right here is from the actual website. And it's 2 whole pages long, so it's pretty lengthy. If you read this in the book and you read this on the website, it might look a little intimidating because there's a lot of instructions, right? It tells you how to create the space. It tells you how to create the invitation, who should be there, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to distill this down into a very simple process because this is how you do 1, 2, 4, all right here. That's it. And now you're going to practice it right here today. So here's the first thing we do. I want you to think about why you're here at this conference today, right? what your vision is for you attending. It's a big commitment, right? Spending a couple of days away from work and your family and coming to this and hanging out with Agilists, right? And I want you to think about why you're here for the next 1 minute. And I'm actually going to time box you. So think about why you're here for the next 1 minute. That's your time box. All right, now you can see where this is headed. I want you to form pairs and discuss why you're here. And how you divide your time up, how you talk, is totally up to you. And you're totally self-organizing. I'm not going to tell you how to form pairs. You have 2 minutes to talk about why you're here in pairs. And your time box starts now. Ask me that question and I'll tell you. Now, I'm sure you've all figured out why this is called 1, 2, 4 all, right? Because you get 4 minutes to talk about this in teams of 4, and your time box starts now. I got to stay in the video. Over there, over there, over there, over there. All right. Now we talk about what your group talked about. So I'm interested in hearing from all of you here, and it's about getting these ideas out. What did you guys talk about? What did your team talk about? Does anybody want to volunteer what you guys talked about? Why you're here today? Who'd like to start? Yeah, let's hear it.
So we had three central things.
Oh, good.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, the microphone. Yeah.
Hi, Rob. So we had three central things that came up,
Yeah.
and we're all at different levels of experience. So there was solidifying the knowledge, rebasing the knowledge, and then just learning more. That was one. And then the other one was finding out what other people in different industries are doing.
Oh, that's good.
And seeing what, and then that leads into number 3, seeing what you can take back to your work and identifying small changes that you can make
Wow, okay.
experiment with.
Very practical, finding out stuff, talking to other people, getting information you can take back and apply to work. That's great. Okay, who else would like to volunteer what they talked about? Let's have someone else.
Pretty much what she said in a nutshell is what we got. So we come from different companies, each with our own different set of experiences. Some are more on the Agile transformation path than others. But really the core values that we came here is to learn what can we do better regardless of where we are in our stages.
Okay, so you kind of talked about transformation and being along different parts of the journey and all that kind of thing. Okay, great. Who else would like to volunteer?
Thank you. Yeah, left to right flow of value, right? So we had those central themes about what we had learned previously, rebasing that knowledge, and having a look at what else we can learn towards the future. So we had looking at what we had done with previous conferences from the last years, and recognizing that there are similar themes that we had learned as well, and also looking to the future about what more books that we can read. For me personally, I just quit my job last Monday, so coming to a conference like this has really helped me. It's really helped me solidify what to look for in the next role in terms of the people, the culture, and the change that I want to see to make the world a better place.
Awesome.
So if you want my business card, let me know.
That's good marketing right there. Okay, who else like to talk?
Our group talked about we came here to connect.
Ooh.
We came here with other people. We came here to become better ourselves at what we do, to look at resistance to changing in our organizations and I guess in ourselves, and at helping our industry to be amazing.
Ooh. Like growing yourself and then the community. I really like that. That's great. Yeah, let's hear it. Let's hear it over here.
In our group, we had similar themes to learn new things from seeing and hearing inspiring people in the talks, and taking time out from doing transformation to rest and recuperate and to recharge. By being with other people who are, and learning that we're not so bad and we're doing the right things and, all that good stuff. And then personally speaking, I'm also here to do a workshop this afternoon. So for me, it's to share it with other people and give them a fun time.
Nice. This is like a support group for all of us right here. Right? Let's hear one more person who would like to volunteer.
Right, so we're here for curiosity and reflection, for looking for new ways to build teams, for the psychology around building teams and how to do that more efficiently and effectively. And also, I'm also here to network as well. I'm the one in the hot pink t-shirt, certified and experienced Scrum Master. Thank you, I should add experienced as well. And so I'm looking for work as well.
Okay.
So come talk to me. There you go.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you. We did have one more over here. Let's do one more. You got to run. You got to run.
Yeah, I'm not cold anymore.
I was thinking about now that we are going ahead to implement Agile. But I see that we might have the role of the HR from the early beginning to select the mindset who will gonna implement Agile, because I see Agile away from the methodologies and what we are doing and coaching and everything is about the mindsets. Some people are not able to be Agile, so we didn't think about that. So it's a role of HR should be involved in the beginning. And the second thing is I'm trying to have some ideas about that. The team structure of the Agile, we are concentrating about the Scrum Master, Project Manager, development, testing, all these. So where is the sales and marketing in this? Those people should involve in this, because sometimes the Agile is stuck in somewhere and the root cause coming from the market and the sales, because they want to implement something in the government sector, and the government is the whole project coming from the sales. So it's more about collaborating with other teams.
You know, I'm hearing business agility here, or end-to-end agility.
Yes, but
Really
we implementing this or not.
Yeah, okay.
So it's the point needs to be discussed.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. Oh, guess what? That was 6 minutes. So, you have just done your first liberating structure. Yes. Let's talk about it a little bit, right? It's great to get out why you're here, and I love that part. This particular technique is actually designed for this. It's to get stuff out of your teams, right? So it's a great technique for giving space to people who might not normally talk. If you have people on your teams or in your organizations who don't normally speak up, this is a great way to do it. I use this in workshops exactly like this. I use it in retrospectives. I use it in unconferences. This basically is the backbone of all the liberating structures, 1, 2, 4, all. So what questions do you guys have about this liberating structure? Let's hear them. Any questions? So not about why you're here, which was great, but any questions about the liberating structure itself? Up front, or go back first. Go back first. Go back first.
So what happens now with the information that we've shared?
I don't know. What happens now? You have to figure
What's
that
the
out.
point of doing it?
Oh, you get it out. Yeah, it's for you as the Scrum Master, as the Agile coach, to figure out what to do next, right? What do you do next? Maybe we should use another liberating structure. Right? That's an interesting thought. Let's get right into it. Oh, you got a question. Go back there.
Do you have any structures for people who don't like standing up?
Standing up, sitting down. I don't think it makes a
talking for that
difference.
matter.
I don't think it makes a difference.
Or talking for that matter?
I think they're actually stuff like this actually gets naturally people to talk, but they all involve talking. Facilitation, in my experience, always involves discussion of some type. Although you can have kind of silent stuff, you might have facilitation techniques where people write on sticky notes and don't talk, and those are usually designed for rapid estimation or something like that. Conversation is really what you're trying to achieve. All right. Yeah. Oh, okay, one more. How do you do it if you've got less than 8 people? Less than 8 people? Yeah, you're going to have to think about team size, right? So if you have a Scrum team of 2 people, this might not work so great. Yeah. You definitely have to think about it. My advice would be to think of these guidelines as pirate guidelines. They're not hard and fast rules. So if you have like a group of 9, you might do 1, 2, 3 all. I don't know. It's up to you, right? Be creative would be my advice, and don't feel constrained by the rules. All right. So we did have a question about what do you do next, right? That's what the liberating structures are all about. Basically, what you're going to do is you're going to string or chain them together to achieve your ends as an Agile coach, as a Scrum Master. My position is that all Scrum Masters and Agile coaches should be devious and sneaky and Machiavellian. Not in a bad way, right? But they're trying to achieve an ends. And that means you might come into a retrospective with a plan. I might do a 1, 2, 4 all and a Troika Consulting. Let's get right into Troika Consulting. This is Troika Consulting, also a very intimidating page, lots of instructions, but I'm going to boil it down for you. So when you go to this website later, you can say, geez, this 2 pages really boils down to 6 bullet points. All you have to do is read it and think about it, right? So here's Troika Consulting. There it is right there, in a nutshell. So this one's going to be slightly different. You are all going to practice it here today, but I'm going to do a demonstration. So I will need 2 victims to come up here with me. Who would like to volunteer to be a victim? Thank you. Give her a round of applause. Suzanne, nice to meet you. I'm Alex. All right. Oh, okay. And you are Marion? Nice to meet you. And you're looking for a job? She's looking for a job, I think. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this liberating structure together. And the first thing you do is structure your invitation. What's your challenge at work, right? So that's the question we're going to talk about. What's our challenge at work? And then we're going to, well, we're all going to have a different challenge, right? So what you do is you silently reflect as an individual, right? We're all going to think about it. Are you done thinking? Okay, you done thinking? That was 1 minute, right? What's your challenge at work? Now we're going to form a team of 3. We're a team of 3, right? And now we're going to select 1 client and 2 consultants. So who wants to be the client? You'll be the client. You and I will be the consultants. Okay? So that's this step. I'll give you 1 minute to do that. Client, 2 consultants. Now, the next step is you share your challenge with us and we listen. So go ahead and share.
I never get things on time.
Oh, wow. And that's your big challenge?
Yeah.
Okay, and then we ask questions. Do we want to ask her any questions?
When's the last time we sat down and talked about your requirements?
Oh, here.
Sorry, when's the last time we actually sat down, clients and consultants, and talked about your requirements?
I never got the invitation.
Oh, okay. 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 You do this question back and forth for 2 minutes. Now, here's the next step you do. You turn your back to us, and we talk about her like real consultants. Right?
Right.
Okay, so what do you want to say about her situation?
Well, it sucks for her and
I know,
for us
I know,
because
yeah,
we're
yeah.
delivering the wrong thing or the right thing, but not on time.
Right. She's in big trouble is what I'm thinking.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, you do that for 5 minutes. The consultants talk about the client's problem, right? And how they might possibly solve it. It says possible solutions. Yeah. Okay, and then the next 2 minutes, you turn around, right? And now you have a conversation with us about what you heard. And you say, am I really that screwed?
Am I really that screwed?
Right? You do that for 2 minutes, and that's the liberating structure. Finally, you rotate the roles around the team.
Okay.
That's it. So that's the demonstration. Now you guys are going to do this here right now. And I want to give these 2 a big round of applause for volunteering. Thank you. Thank you. So, for the time box of each section up here, it'll just be highlighted. So now I'm going to ask you for 1 minute to think about what's your biggest challenge at work. You have 1 minute to think about it. And is this a personal thing for you? What's your big challenge at work? 1 minute. Okay. Now to the next time box. You're going to form teams of 3. You're going to select 1 client and 2 consultants. And I'm going to give you 1 minute for that. Now, I'm going to follow the time boxes, but if you go ahead of your time boxes, that's perfectly fine. Just follow the steps. You have 1 minute to form teams of 3. Next step. Next step. Next step.
Of having the client turn their back but not listen, or listen, sorry?
You listen.
What's the purpose of them listening?
That's a good question to ask, and question is answered. It's Russian for like 3 people. Next step. Next step. All right. You would rinse and repeat this entire process again. That was your second liberating structure. We don't have time for this one, but once again, you boil that 2-page thing down to 4 bullet points. Mix and match these together. Be creative. Chain them as events. This presentation is up in a Dropbox, ready for you to go. And thank you. Oh.